Long Island, New York. A quiet, picture-perfect town called Amityville. But on one cold November night in 1974, this peaceful neighborhood lost its innocence forever. Because that night witnessed one of the most horrifying real-life tragedies in American history. The Amityville Horror. 112 Ocean Avenue, a dream house in every sense. White wooden walls, a red slanted roof, large windows overlooking the river. The image of the perfect American home. In 1974, it belonged to the DeFeo family. Father Ronald DeFeo Sr., Mother Louise, and their 5 children. To the neighbors, they were a normal, happy family. But behind those walls lived anger, fear, and something far darker. Ronald DeFeo Sr. was known to be strict, short-tempered, and often drunk. His eldest son, Ronald Butch DeFeo Jr., constantly clashed with him. No one knew that their family conflicts were about to end in unimaginable horror. November 13, 1974, around 3 a.m. The streets of Amityville were silent, but inside 112 Ocean Avenue, hell was breaking loose. Butch DeFeo picked up his rifle and one by one shot and killed his father, mother, 2 brothers, and 2 sisters. Each body was found lying face down in bed as if they hadn't even tried to escape. The police report would later note, quote, "All the victims were found face down as if they knew what was coming." But how was it possible? 6 people shot and not a single neighbor heard a scream? At first, Butch told police, "Someone broke in and killed my family." But within 24 hours, he confessed. He was the killer. A year later, in December 1975, George and Kathy Lutz bought the house for just $80,000. A beautiful bargain, but with a bloody past. They moved in with their 3 children and their Labrador dog. At first, everything seemed fine, but soon, strange things began to happen. George Lutz woke up every night at exactly 3:15 a.m., the exact time of the murders. Doors slammed shut on their own. Unexplained cold spots appeared around the house. Kathy claimed she felt unseen hands touching her while she slept. One morning, she looked into a mirror and saw not her own reflection, but the distorted face of a woman she didn't recognize. The Lutz family called a Catholic priest to bless the house, but as the priest entered one of the upstairs rooms, he heard a deep male voice scream, "Get out!" Terrified, he fled the room. Later, he noticed blisters forming on his hands, as if burned by something unseen. The priest warned them, "You must leave this house. It doesn't want you here." But George refused. He said, "This is our home. I'm not afraid." But the house wasn't afraid of him either. They lasted only 28 days. On the final night, everything went beyond reason and into madness. George awoke to see Kathy levitating above their bed, her face twisted, her eyes rolled white. The children screamed from their rooms as the doors slammed shut. A deep growling voice filled the air, coming from everywhere, yet nowhere. Their dog downstairs barked furiously, and then silence. In blind panic, George grabbed his family and ran out of the house into the freezing night. They never returned, not even to collect their belongings. The next morning, the house stood exactly as they'd left it. Coffee cups on the table, lights still on, clocks frozen at 3:15 a.m., as if time itself had stopped. The story made national headlines. A best-selling book followed, The Amityville Horror, A True Story, by Jay Anson. Then came the 1979 movie, The Amityville Horror, which became one of the most famous horror films ever made. Investigators and skeptics claimed it was all a hoax, that the Amityville family had fabricated everything for fame and money. But George and Kathy Lutz swore until their deaths, everything we said was true. Even later visitors reported an oppressive feeling in the house, like someone watching them from the shadows, breathing down their necks. Some believed the house was built over an ancient Native American burial ground. Others say Butch DeFeo was possessed by evil spirits that still linger in those walls. The truth? No one has ever been able to explain it. Today, the house still stands, though its address has been changed to keep curious tourists away. But locals say that if you walk by 112 Ocean Avenue on a quiet night, you might feel the air turn cold. You might see lights flicker through those infamous windows, and you might feel like you're being watched. Because true terror never dies, and some houses are never truly empty. This was the true story of the Amityville Horror, a story where the line between reality and nightmare disappears. And maybe, just maybe, the house is still waiting for its next family.